You're now listening to the Zod and Drea podcast.
And welcome back, everybody, for another episode.
Yeah, welcome back to the Zod and Drea podcast. I am Zod.
And I'm Drea.
I am Zod.
Sounds like you're...
You like that voice? I am Zod. All right.
Like, where's Spider-Man? I mean Superman. Jumping out of anywhere.
Kneel before Zod.
So, can you tell it's been a busy week?
Yeah, so it's been a really busy week over here. In Phoenix in general, but man, just in our lives. I mean, you had a good vacation. You went away for a couple of days.
Yeah, I went away for a couple of days to celebrate my mom's birthday and my sister's birthday, and was with my aunt Alma. So shout out to the family for a really great weekend that we had together.
Yeah, so that was good. I just pretty much lounged around the house, cleaned, went to see a movie. Ate French fries. So
yeah, eat French fries.
yeah, and worked a lot. I worked a lot. I gotta admit, I sat behind my computer and worked a lot. So it was a good week.
But I have to admit, I was bummed to miss a really major event that happened today.
Yeah, which was the Women's March. The Women's March had happened today, and it happened yesterday around the country.
Mm-hmm.
But Las Vegas and over here in Phoenix had decided to do it today on Sunday, and I'm sure there may have been sprinkles of other towns who had done the same thing. But we're gonna get into that, the Women's March, not just worldwide, but over here. And let's I mean, since we already gave away pretty much what we
one of the
topics, one of the 5-minute topics that we're gonna do. Really slowly, because time is going by real slowly. What is going to be the entertainment that we're going to talk about?
Entertainment topic we're going to talk about and bring up this question of, are the awards ceremonies still relevant? Like, does that have any weight on your judgment when it comes to watching a certain TV show or movie because they just got an award?
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that. It's going to be our own opinions and stuff, so whatever. And then, of course, our main topic is really a good one. It's, do you trust significant others in the workplace? So it's not just, your significant other, but, other people have significant others also. And we're going to talk about the intimacy that people have in the workplace and what they think about, their partners working there as well as other partners who just may be feeling the same thing.
We found some interesting statistics about it.
So. Yeah, you're going to have to talk about that. I know you pulled up a grid, so I think it's something interesting. So
let's get started.
Let's get into it. Let's get into this podcast, people. Let's get into it, all right? Turn your volume up. So let's talk about award ceremonies first before we talk about the Women's March. That's what I want to say, the entertainment area. Now, people, I think the SAG Awards are going on, or at least they already went on 2 days ago.
Yes.
Yeah, so they went on 2 days ago. And, the SAG Awards is different from other awards because it's actually by their peers. Mm-hmm. So, if you had the best movie out there, but, you're just a dick and we just don't, we're not feeling you. I'm going to award it to somebody else. So, too bad for you. So you got to, I'm sure you got to suck up to people, whatever, to get the SAG Award. Suck up to a whole bunch of friends. But other things like the Academy Awards, that's up to the Academy, and who knows what Golden Globes.
I don't remember. Like Golden Globes, that's the press, right?
Oh, is that it? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't care. See, the thing is, here's me. Zod's whole perspective. I don't watch them. I don't watch award ceremonies. I don't know what they're for. I don't get them. I don't care if Billy Crystal is hosting, and I don't. That's how old school I am. Billy Crystal was probably hosting something last time I gave a damn about something.
Oh, see, and I enjoyed watching it as a kid. Like, it was kind of a thing in my household to watch, like, the Oscars. One, yeah, because I'm a huge Billy Crystal fan, and it was this whole, you got to see his performance, and that was with that whole, I guess, innocence of thinking of, like, that actor in the Hollywood scene was glamorous, right? You got to see the women dressed up. But as I got older, I really see that it just doesn't mean as much to me anymore. I do like seeing certain actresses and actors being honored especially a lot of the up-and-coming actresses, women of color, men of color, certain movies, like, I know, what was it last year? It was, oh gosh, why can't I think of it?
Of the Academy Awards.
The one that won.
Well, I like. I don't know what won. See, and that's the whole point.
I
Like,
just
we don't even
forgot about
freaking
it.
know who won.
It was a mix-up. It was like, oh no, that's not the movie. When it was Spotlight.
Oh, Spotlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spotlight. I still haven't seen it. I've had it forever. I still haven't. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen the drummer movie where the dude like beats up the drummer kid or something. I don't know what that's about. I haven't seen. I don't know. All these people like my friend Kristen. She's been on the show before. Kristen has been on here, and I know we have had conversations where she makes sure that she sees in the theater all of the movies that have been nominated for Oscars. She always makes sure she does that. And I think that's kind of a cool tradition to try and see whatever. But to me, some of them just look boring as hell. I would love to see Toxic Avenger up there, but people don't.
Toxic Avenger.
they don't classify that as. It's always got to be something that is a drama or a remake of somebody's life. Oh my God! It's all like if it's a Victorian movie, you're in. If it's a comedy, you're dead ass. The last horror movie to even try to get in there was probably that Hannibal Lecter, Silence of the Lambs. That one got in. But Get Out, it didn't get anything.
Get Out was even categorized as a comedy.
Yeah, it's a comedy. I think it just might even be just poison for you to try and like lock things in. So it's like, what are these shows for? And don't even give me that, because that last thing, what was it? I forgot. Was it the Tonys or the Emmys or something like that? You're like, Oprah,
I did, because Oprah's speech was great. But,
yeah, but you were watching the whole thing.
But that was Oprah. That wasn't the decision of a movie to watch.
Yeah, but you watched the whole thing.
Because she's entertained me, and I like her.
She wasn't in the whole thing. She was
getting like the Cecil B. DeMille award.
You even know the award. You watched the whole damn thing. I didn't watch shit.
I liked it.
Like me, now you like it. I'd see, and that's just it. To me, I don't think award ceremonies are relevant. And I think it's good that people are honored and people are, brought up for their work. Especially, you bust your ass. This is what you do. You put your heart and soul into something. One of the illest things that they did was when they nominated Heath Ledger, and unfortunately he died, so I think that really boosted up everything, but he was a killer as the Joker. He was killer, but would he have won if he was alive? Probably not. Probably not. Let's speak the truth. So a lot of these things are even political, where the one time when Halle Berry and Denzel Washington both won, him for Training Day, her for Monsters Ball, and it's like, come on now, like, Denzel's the man. He can act in anything. But the fact that he lost to Kevin Spacey that one year when he was in Hurricane, and I had seen both movies, I'm like, how in the hell did Denzel lose? He was incredible as Hurricane. So I don't take him. I take him all with a grain of salt.
Well, see, and I still like the glamour of it, whatever that's left of it. I have to admit, though, when it came to what the latest awards that we were talking about, what was it, Golden Globes, to seeing how the Me Too movement was tied to it and seeing what was going to be addressed, I was looking forward to seeing how that was going to have any impact. Did it? I don't know.
That had nothing to do with glamour.
Yeah.
Me Too. That had nothing to do with glamour. Anyway. Tell us what you think about award ceremonies. Me, I don't care. I really don't. But anyway, let's move on to the Women's March, 2018. As you guys know, last year the Women's March really kicked off hardcore in like so many countries. I mean, they had them over in like Antarctica on like a boat with like eagles or something like that, like still protesting. And it was really enormous. To see all of these women who wanted to get activated, at least you think they wanted to, get activated, considering so many white women voted for Donald Trump and put him in. But, I guess some of the others had buyer's remorse, and then some others who completely didn't vote for him. They may have voted for other people that got him elected still, but whatever. Now, this is year 2, and it's more about action building. It was surrounded by action.
So when you say by action, meaning what? Meaning it
was about people voting. Number one, it was about women getting into vote, women getting into politics and running for office. Okay. That's what this. So what I do like about the Women's March is if they're going to be doing that and diversifying their issues, I think that's going to make it better year to year to year. Instead of just hating Trump. Trump sucks. We know this. We know he's the worst president in the planet. We know this. This is fact. But if they can, if they sit there and beat that dead horse every year, it's like, so what? Of course he's going to suck this year or last year. He's going to suck every year. So what do you do with the Women's March by getting all those people to gather around? You push them. You push them to do something different. So this one is for people to run. And over in Phoenix, we had some really good speakers. Athena Salmon and Chanel Poe. I'm sorry, I don't even know some of the other people who had spoken, but I know that Murphy Bannerman, who had helped put this together.
Shout out to Murphy.
Shout out to our girl Murphy. That's Murphy Murph. And that's our girl.
That's our girl.
Like, that's like my daughter. You know, that's my little sister. So leave her alone. I love her. And some of these other people, they wound up doing their job here in Phoenix and putting it on, where it was very large. About 25,000 people showed up.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Like, I was even reading about how I think there was a protest at the Eiffel Tower.
Wow.
Yeah, that even women were protesting to show their support for the women in America that were marching for women's rights, for equality, and also too, what I saw was a big presence regarding support for DACA and support for immigration policies.
And here in Phoenix, we did like I was there. Drea wasn't there. She was on her way, and she was there in spirit. But everybody asked about you. Everybody asked about you. So we knew you were there. You were there in spirit, and it was pretty much almost the same thing. To tell you what it was this year compared to the others was or to last year was. There was a lot more enthusiasm. There were less pussy hats. There were a lot of pussy hats, but less.
Which annoy the hell out of me. Those hats annoy me.
They're silly. The vagina hats. I don't know what they're for. And I don't know what vagina looks like that, but there was
the form of the hats.
There was less of those and more women of action. And what was so awesome to see this, and I wish you did see it, and I know you probably won't be able to wait until next year to see this because I think it's going to wind up resonating with some of the other protests or marches that we have, where the fact that the mall was surrounded by tables. I mean, Love Glasses were there. Shout out to Tara.
Tara.
And, Jen Germain and January Contreras. And they were next to each other. And then...
oh, wow. That's great.
Who's our girl? Abby Hoffman?
Not
Abby Hoffman.
No, Katie.
God, Jesus Christ. Yeah, thank you. Katie Hoffman. She was there.
Was Brianna Westeros?
Oh, no, I didn't see Brianna. I did not see Westbrook. I did not see her. Ken Clark was there. My man, Marcus Farrow, he's running for here in LD24. He was there. And it was just beautiful to see all of these people just lined up all the way around getting signatures. Like, people were doing action. They were doing it. Like, it was actually set up to work. And I mean, the fact that they actually took that opportunity to do, I thought that was a beautiful thing. And I think there's another one, March to the Polls in February, that's going to be happening, where it's going to be something similar, where there's going to be another march. But this one is an action item also to march and make sure people are registered to vote.
That's great.
Yeah, so, I'm a team leader on one of those things, and we're going to try and get some of our volunteers to get, people in order. But the Women's March, it was beautiful this year in Phoenix, and obviously I know you did see some of the ones on TV.
I did.
And
LA, I know it was really
LA
large.
was huge.
And it looks like New York City was really huge
200,000 in New York.
So I'm just glad to see the momentum hasn't died down.
Yeah, the momentum hasn't died down. It's probably picked up, so people are pissed off. And we need people to be pissed off in order to get into action. So let's see what 2018 brings.
Do something.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Zod.
And I'm Drea.
And we want you to check out the Zod and Drea podcast every Tuesday.
Where can everybody find us at?
You can always check us out on www.zodanddrea.com.
Where else?
You can always check us out also on Facebook at Zod and Drea.
Instagram?
Zod and Drea.
Snapchat?
Zod and Drea.
YouTube?
Zod and Drea.
I see a pattern.
So if you haven't caught that, catch us at Zod and Drea on all the social networks. But also, make sure you subscribe to the Zod and Drea podcast. Where?
At zodanddrea.com.
And also on YouTube and iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and iHeartRadio. We're coming for you.
Let us know what you think. And if you want to be a guest, reach out to us.
And put all of your input into whatever our topics are for the week. So we hope to check you out and see you there.
Bye.
Okay, let's get back then to the podcast and our main topic.
All right, so our main topic is: do you trust significant others in the workplace? So think about where you are. Let's start this off cool. All right, like think about this. You have a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, common law, whatever it is. And like Scarface said, you see your smiling face every day, but sometimes you just want to have something new. But when you're at work, let's think about it this way. Let's split our day up into threes.
Okay.
8 hours of sleep, 8 hours at work, The other 8 hours, whatever. Sometimes it's commuting. Sometimes
Like
you might
2
go to the
hours
gym. You know what I
stuck
mean?
just in,
Watch some TV.
some gym. Mm-hmm.
Something. That's you time. So you spend most of the day, if you're not asleep next to you, big deal, you're next to somebody, but you're knocked the fuck out. But you're 8 hours awake, mostly in the daytime, when the sun's shining and it's warm and it's cool, and you're wasting away behind 4 walls and some windows. And you are with the same people, your coworkers, all the time. And some people you work as partners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're on a team. You're on a team project
You're on a
or
team
something.
project, you know? So you're working closely with that person.
And maybe that team project requires traveling too.
It could be.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine you're traveling with your partner. You got to get work done. This and that. How much closer are you going to get to your relationship that you have if this is what is going on? So, do you trust that person you're with not to be smashing somebody in the office?
And even just that, like looking at, like, because it can't even just be about sex. It could be just like, are they wishing that they want to be with that person instead of you? You know.
See, I don't even go all that deep.
I did. I went that.
geez. No. So I'm wondering if people wind up having those affairs, and in the workplace, what are the reasons for? Like they say, the office romance, you know?
Office romance.
The office romance. So what are some, I mean, do you have any statistics that we may talk about this so that we can try to find out if people do trust their other, or have they even thought about something like this?
So I pulled up some data from Career Builder, of all places. It was really interesting. February 2017, number of workers reporting office romances are at a 10-year high.
Damn.
Finds the annual Career Builder Valentine's Day survey. Of course, they did this on Valentine's Day, right?
Of course they did.
So they said so this was the result of the survey. 41% of workers say that they have dated a coworker since 2007. 19% of office romances involve someone who is already married.
Okay.
38% of workers have had to keep their romance a secret. You know, that may mean, let's say I was a boss and I was dating someone that was reporting up to me. We know that'd be a conflict, you know, something like that. So that seemed really interesting, especially the one that said 19% of office romances involve someone who is already married. Now, I'm looking back at my various, my career and the different environments I was in, right? And I remember when I was really young, getting started in a public service. I won't give a name out or anything like that. A public service entity that I was working with, where there were a lot of men, and I was hit on. I hit it on. That my
Jesus
English sounds
Christ.
horrible. I was hit on by various ages of married men. And it felt like gross. Like, Rose, what are you doing? Are you hitting on me? I mean, I was like a 24, 25-year-old. And then as I went into more of a sales environment, that's when you really got to see. Then I saw just men from, I think it was like mostly men that were hitting like their, what do you call it? The midlife crisis?
Yeah.
Hitting on every young thing that would come across. It was gross. And that's when I think I started to establish myself, to separate myself from the office environment, because I just didn't want to be around that.
Because think about that. It's funny you say that, the office environment, because a lot of times it's after the office environment as well. So, hey, happy hour, and who do you go with? Your coworkers.
Right.
So let's toss all of this in and then add alcohol to it.
Right.
What do you think is going to happen?
Let's think about
So
this.
the Fiscal Times says, of those who have dated a coworker, 42% said they had an ongoing casual relationship. 36% they had a random office hookup. 29% had been in serious long-term relationship, and 16% had met their spouse or partner at work. So think about that. So you met your spouse or partner at work, which is 16%, but geez, 36% said they had a random office hookup. I knew a chick who said I believe she was married at the time. Definitely the guy was married. But he had a foursome with her, 2 other women, and it was him.
And they all work together?
Yep, they all work together. It was at the job. They had a foursome. I'm like, okay, look, I'm kind of...
Look, do you?
I'm kind of hating on the dude a little bit, but I'm just saying...
Well, I'm thinking like that's especially when they're all in the same work environment.
They were, if I remember right, I think only one of them was single. And they did it at the job. They did it at the job. I think it was like after hours. They had a little something to drink, but then they went back. They went back to the job. So I think it was like an after work thing. Then they went back to the job because they had the keys or whatever, and then they smashed and had to force them. I'm like, yo, I wouldn't mind doing some shit like that. I just wouldn't do it on you.
But no, I'm just thinking on this, and that's a whole other subject. But I'm just thinking,
right?
like, that could be like some potential blackmail on somebody. Like,
But on who? They all were guilty.
yeah, but I'm just saying, like, oh yeah, if you don't do this project for me, guess what? I'm gonna tell your significant other that we did this, or you know what I mean? Like,
In a way, the only one who can get away with that is a single person. And if the other person's your boss, you might get fired. I mean, who knows what?
Who knows?
Who knows what? But the office room. I mean, what's that? Ashley Madison. Like, I mean, Ashley Madison. You know that website.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I think
For married
for
people
who want to cheat. I mean, how many people actually wind up doing it from there? There are places where it's not just even limited there. It might. Let's pretend that you go to work and you can't do it with somebody at work for the same reason that it's just too crowded. But you get the idea of. You get the fantasy of. So maybe you do go to Ashley Madison, or you go to what's that Bumble, or
I don't know which one.
I can't remember. What's it,
not Tinder.
Tinder.
Oh, okay.
You go to Tinder, or Match or something like that, and just to fulfill that fantasy. I don't know if one is going to lead to the other, but your significant other could be doing a lot of things behind your back that you don't know. I mean, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
That's
so
just
the question
what it
is, do you trust them, right?
So do you trust them? See, now people are going to listen to this and be going through everyone's phone.
And like when I looked, like I became very what do you call it? Like I became very leery of relationships after working so long with sales people and sales teams, because I would always in the airport I shouldn't say always, but it would be just this common thing that would happen if I was traveling alone and I was single at the time. There was more than once maybe a married man. I mean, ring on the finger, on the phone with the wife, and he's like looking at me and he's asking me, hey, do you want a drink? Where are you going to be in town for a conference? Oh, I know that hotel. Oh my gosh, it was the worst. And I would think to myself, why get married? Because then if you're thinking that, I'm thinking that poor wife is thinking that her husband's just doing just an office travel, a trip, and he'll be back home in time to pick up the kids from school and go to soccer practice and go to this event, but yet he is hitting hard on me, and God knows how many other women that they're hitting on. It's like, why even be married? Why do that? Or is it because it's a challenge? It's a fantasy? I don't know, but it just got a little too much for me. Like, this is ridiculous. I don't even think that. Why even be married? Like that, I just felt really bad for a lot of these wives.
Man, screw them.
Yes,
I'm
I'm
like too bad. Whatever.
You don't even know.
Geez. So check this out. Come to find out, workplace romances are the most common in the hospitality and tourism industry. Where 62% of workers say they've gotten romantic with a partner. So we're talking hospitality and tourism.
Alcohol.
I mean, yeah, that might be it. Alcohol.
A
Alcohol
big
might
factor
be,
in all those industries.
Yeah. So they say love is in the air also in consumer products industry, where 59% of workers have dated each other. Consumer products, like why? And in the retail and advertising business, 58%. I mean, these are crazy stats. So more than 1 in 10 people said they were currently in a relationship with a coworker. More than 1 in 10. So, and nearly 2/3 said that they would have another office romance. So I think that the fantasy is there for the people. And to me, it's just the close proximity that you work with someone. Like, if you work with someone that long, which is almost longer than in the relationship that you're with, because again, you're asleep unless you guys are just night owls like that, or you're able to really enjoy your 2 days off that you get to really chill. You're with these coworkers, and I'm just saying. I trust you. Like I don't think about it. It never crosses my mind. It never has. If somebody's doing something, they're gonna do it anyway. You're not gonna be able to stop them. Most you can do is find out and leave.
Right.
That's what I say. But one thing is kind of weird is women are more likely than men to have participated in an office romance, according to this. But they tend to engage in more long-term relationships. So men are more likely than women to have engaged in a random office hookup, which sounds like a dude, or an employee
right.
casual.
It's a hookup.
So a guy will just hook up, where women will
It's more emotionally invested.
Way more emotional, which to me is even more dangerous because now you're on the verge of leaving it's not a fling. You're on the verge of clinging on from one and unclinging from the other. You know, you found something in that, and I think that's more dangerous. I don't know what the statistics are on people who leave people for their office romantic relationship.
Yeah, that'd be hard to gather that statistics. Like, who would be honest about it?
See, I wonder I mean, I guess you can do it random and just, hey, you know, are you having this? Are you doing that? And you can just have it anonymous. That's possible, but I don't know. It's like, I mean, what do you people think? It's like, are you, hell, you know, if anybody's listening who's actually doing it, you know, tell us how and why you're doing it and let us know.
That would be so interesting.
You know, especially the people either who are already in a relationship. Do they trust their significant other? You know, like they're cheating on them. Do they trust them when they come home from work? Do they smell their clothes or check to see if, you know, they got lipstick on the neck?
I asked a few of various coworkers of mine, the married men, when I would ask them, like, why is that interesting? Why do you risk that being caught? You know, even if it's just a fantasy to do it, why risk? And the common thing that they all would tell me was that they were either getting too much stress at home, you know, either the wife or the kids were demanding too much, or they were just plain bored and wanted variety. So I was like, all right, I get the variety, but is it worth the risk? Is it worth the consequence of being caught? Because, you know, if you get caught, then you got to deal with divorce settlement. And is it cheaper to keep her? You know, all that drama, you know, the separation of your family. Is it worth it taking that risk just because you're bored? Why don't you have those conversations with your other significant other?
Because that conversation is boring.
But you know what I mean? Like, hey, you know, if you want to, you know, spice things up, why don't you talk to her or him about it?
See,
whoever
I'd like
it is.
to see what it is. I think that, I have to see, but like, I'm sure that the person that they're with, maybe even more boring than the person, you know, that they're seeking. No one seeks out a relationship for someone more boring than what they're already in. Who does that? You know what I mean? So there's something exciting about it. And I think that if somebody's going to promise to the world or fantasies, it's like, what? She doesn't let you do that? I'll do that. Boom. Right there.
Right.
Seed is planted. So you go and talk to your wife. You know what? What about thinking? No, you know I don't do that. All right, I know who does. You know, it's like, okay, I know who does. What do you do about that? You know, it's you know, it's a tough conversation to have, but if you're not going to be the fantasy for your significant other, you're going to be winding up into some bad situations.
And it's got to be on both sides. Women have fantasies too, guys, so be open and listen to it.
Yeah, and their fantasies are usually just playing with their toy. So let them play with their vibrator, and that's it.
I don't know.
No, that's it. That's all. That's all
actually, no.
Usually their fantasy is always having sex with other women. So it's
No.
like just let them do it, fellas. Just let them do it if that's what they want to do.
You're like, again,
Like,
another
geez,
one.
God,
I want a pillow
another
fight.
threesome.
Oh,
Jesus
gosh.
Christ, why do you keep bringing your friends over here? Oh, can't I sleep?
Can I just be me?
You know, so just let them work that out, fellas. You know, even if it takes like 5-6 years to
Even
get
if
through
it's
it.
in front of you.
You know,
Yeah.
and God forbid they ask you to join. Jeez.
Oh, Lord, it's asking for so much.
Man. I swear.
So let us know what you think, guys. I mean, again, I liked your suggestion, like you said before. Like, if you're listening and maybe you're in that situation, you can use an alias. We won't say who you are. Tell us what you think.
Yeah, and if you want to have sex with Zod and Drea, then let us know.
We need a picture first.
We need picture and confirm.
Yeah,
we need confirmation.
We need to see how you look like in the daylight.
Send your photo to info@zodanddrea.com. We won't expose you.
No, not at all. So this was an interesting conversation today.
Yeah, so obviously, you know, have some fun with it, but you know, hey, check out your office romance and just let us know, what are you doing? Is anybody over there doing some grimy stuff? Are you?
Are you the grimer?
Yeah, snitch on yourself, try snitching yourself, tell some other people, let us know what you think.
And also, too, I want to also spotlight all the work you did the other day over at the Women's March.
Yeah, so make sure you check out Zod and Drea. You're going to wind up seeing the videos and the interviews that we had for the Women's March. It's really good. And even the photos that we have online right now on Facebook are picking up steam. So check it out. Everything at Zod and Drea, including the .com.
And again, keep persistent. Keep going. And also let us know about any topics, too, that you want us to discuss or share, or if you want to be on our show with us. We'd love to have you.
Bye.